Hello and welcome to Arc Logos Podcast. This is your go-to show with all things well-being and lifestyle. I am your host, Sherelle Wilson-Morrison, and joining me are my two beautiful co-hosts,
Anita Pinto-Young
and Rose Tebere.
Welcome. And once again, we always say thank you so much for listening to all our new listeners and our current subscribers. Please remember to like, share, follow, and subscribe. So today, I thought we would have a lovely discussion about the term beauty is skin deep. Very interesting topic, and I know a lot of us in particular have been dying to discuss this. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to start first, to kind of get your sense of understanding of what do we mean, or what do you think or define beauty is only skin deep mean?
My understanding of that term is that there's a lot more to beauty. It's not just the physical. There's so much more. Skin deep just shows a little bit of it, a very small aspect of beauty. So for me, when someone talks about beauty is only skin deep, they're referring to the fact that there's so much more to beauty, and that just makes me think of the inner beauty. And there's so much about inner beauty, because it's the inner beauty that makes one joyous, happy, and have those lovely relationships with other people. Because if for instance, you are very beautiful on the outside, but you are not a very good person, then I don't think it's going to be helpful in terms of your relationships. So for me, it means so much more to beauty than just the physical.
So you're saying it's not just the outwardly appearance, it's the inward as well. Yeah. Okay, I like that, Rose. Yeah,
I think you need both.
I knew someone was going to come with some controversy, and we're here for it.
I mean, obviously, I suppose somebody who's beautiful on the inside, it radiates outwards.
Yeah.
That's true. And I guess there's a balance between the obsessing over physical beauty and the vanity of, I need to be in the gym, and I need to be tucked, and I need to have plastic surgery, and I need to have Botox, and I need to have implants, and I need to have extension, and I need to have this, and I need to have makeup, and it's sort of a balance between both. Because when it comes to like relationships, male-female relationships, people are attracted to what's on the outside. Everybody is attracted to something, and that is okay. I suppose it's recognizing that there's a balance between the physical beauty and the inner beauty, because like Rose said, there are people who are drop-dead gorgeous, but they have nasty personalities, and that just takes away from the physical beauty. So for me, I think it's a balance.
Yeah. And Anita, it's a valid point that you said that, because I'm now thinking about some of the people that I know, whether they're in my circle of influence, whether they're my friends, people I just come in my day-to-day life. And initially, that attraction, they're very attractive on the eyes. As they say, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. But then as you start to kind of delve into conversations, you get to know them, and you're just like, oh, you are ugly.
I know.
Like, just in terms of their personality and just some of their traits and just how they come across. And it's funny, because for me, maybe it may not resonate with you both, but I recognize that that attraction starts to change. Once you start to see what's internally inside that individual, they don't look as attractive as they had originally appeared to be.
I know.
Yeah. But the thing is, as much as we say, the inner beauty is so important, I feel that there's so much emphasis on the outer external beauty, the presentation. As you said, how much do people spend on plastic surgery, for instance? And something that I shouldn't really, anyway, I'm going to talk about this because it's such a huge problem. There's something about
is it skin bleaching?
The skin, the bleaching of the skin. There's something about the bleaching of the skin and the degree to which people go, to bleach their skin.
Rose is going deep first thing. She ain't even waiting. Go on, Rose.
I know. I know, because what really upset me the other day was I read that in certain parts of the world, even babies are bleached. that really,
Where?
oh no, I don't want to upset
Oh,
people.
God.
I don't want, but
Come on,
yeah,
upset
West
people.
Africa.
Yeah.
West Africa. Yes, I read somewhere, and that really, really shocked me. That really shocked me, you know, that babies are being bleached as well.
Yeah.
So for me, there's something about, and what you said, you know, there's something about the outside, you know, the outward look and the emphasis that people put so much, you know, into that. It's not just the bleaching, but everything.
Yeah. I think, I mean, obviously, like I said, I think both things are important.
Yeah.
Say, for example, you're going to a job interview, you're going to put yourself together well.
Of course.
Yes.
Because a lot of the times, how you look creates a first impression. Obviously, if you think about even this podcast, we're coming on, you're trying to make sure your hair looks right. You want to make sure you fix your makeup. You want to put on some nice clothes and all of that because physical beauty is important.
It's important, yeah.
But I also think that inner beauty is also important because, like I said, there are some people who are there nipped and tucked to perfection, but they're so nasty. It's like, you know, what is that about? But coming on to what you said about the bleaching, Rose, like I said, Lord of gosh. Rose is going deep first thing. I think it's thinking about, well, what is the root cause of the whole bleaching phenomena? And obviously we have to go all the way back to slavery and all the way back to colonialism. And if we think about what happened in the Caribbean with a lot of the slave plantations, if you were brown, you got to go work in the house. If you were darker, you went and you worked in the field. So from the time of slavery and colonialism, there was a certain status which was placed on skin color. I think there are places like in Atlanta where they talked about if you're browner than a brown paper bag, you can go into some venues. If not, you can't.
Wow.
And growing up as well and seeing the images that were pervasive on television. So, you know, growing up in the Caribbean, which is a 90% black country, going to high school, primary school, and being teased about my complexion, called blacker than the rest, called black shadow. And being a teenager and going home and saying, God, I'm going to go to sleep tonight. And when I wake up tomorrow, I need to be blonde. First of all, I need to be white with blonde hair and blue eyes. Because I was that traumatized about being teased about my skin color, right? Woke up the next morning, I was still black. And I was like, God, what's this about? You're not trying to help me here. But obviously, it took years to find myself and develop a sense of identity and recognizing where it came from. And I think my journey to South Africa at 19 around, you know, a World Conference Against Racism, recognizing that actually this is where we came from as a people. We have so much to be grateful for. And a lot of the brainwashing we were taught, and in the same way we learned it, we can unlearn it. And probably if I wasn't educated, I probably would have been bleaching my skin today. But thank God I was uneducated. So it's the miseducation of black women, I think.
And you know what? Thank you so much for just being so open and honest and sharing your experiences. That's your experience. And I want to make that clear. Like, I'm grateful that you shared that.
Thank you so much.
No. I see you. I hear you. I value you.
Oh, bless you.
But you've made a valid point.
Yeah.
Societal perspectives.
Yes.
And I remember growing up not seeing any black dolls or any dolls that looked like me. If you think about it, but fast forward to society now, and I'm seeing like my godkids, and friends' kids and so forth. They've got black dolls, and it's not black dolls with the straight hair.
No,
they've got all different types of textures,
Yes.
and it needs to start from somewhere. And I think that's a demonstration of how, in society, how things are changing. Like, we've got the natural hair movements, and how people are now talking about it, and our hair is no longer considered as being unkept
or nappy.
or nappy. I hate that term. Hate
Happy
it.
to be nappy.
No, I'm not running with that. But for me, my perspective, I do feel like that natural, like there's more things that we're doing. I mean, I know I'm sat here today with my extensions, but even this, it has its own story about Jane Rose and different things like that. And then every time you see me with my natural hair, and it's so versatile. I might even want it straight one day. I might want to wear a wig.
Oh, definitely.
Don't tell my husband that. But we've got so many things that we can, and it's because of the changes in society, I find.
And I must say, I really appreciate, you know, having braids. And you mentioned, you know, our hair can be very, very difficult to manage.
Difficult?
And I really...
Did Rose just say difficult to manage? Yeah, but go on, Rose.
All right. Okay. Maybe
Go on,
difficult is
Rose.
the wrong word. It's the wrong word. But in terms of there are reasons why we braid our hair. Because it's easier to manage. You imagine waking up each and every morning and having to do your hair.
What's wrong with that,
Rose,
Rose?
I'm gonna pull up Rose on that one. I mean, obviously, we're not bashing anybody who wears braids and wigs, right?
No.
Because, and obviously, there are a lot of women who have different stories around their hair, whether it's hair that has thinned, whether it's hair that has fallen out, and sometimes maybe in a place where you don't feel confident enough to wear your natural hair, and that's a whole different story and a whole different conversation for another day. But I think the whole concept of our hair being difficult, again, is a story that we've been taught. So again, going back to history, where, you know, most of our people landed on slave plantations and had their heads shaved and had our hair described as difficult or nappy. And it's a question of, but is it though? Or is it that we were just not taught about how to care for our hair?
Right.
So this whole perception of it being difficult, it's a question of, well, who told us that? And so obviously a lot of natural hair influencers in this day and age are now teaching our Black women, this is how you care for your hair. Things like simple spritzing with water. Things like shea butter that's in abundance in most of Africa that we're not even using and taking advantage of. But we've been sold this narrative that our hair is difficult, so somehow we need to cover it up or straighten it or wear braids. And it's, again, I don't buy into the concept.
I reframe it, Anita. Before I get beaten up, I reframe. It's not difficult to manage, but versatile.
Our hair is versatile.
I think coming back to your point, Reg, you're thinking more about the convenience, maybe. That's where it's coming from, and the whole aspect of wearing protective hairstyles.
Yes.
So, like, I go swimming.
Yeah.
And, for example, you go to the gym.
Yeah.
And in general, you're a mum, you're busy. So sometimes you just want that pick up and go.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the
Just
braids,
get
the
up and
twists, the weaves, the whatever it may be, that's not our
You
actual
throw it
hair.
on,
It can get wet, it can be done, and you don't have to worry about it. Is it going to damage my hair? But we have to be mindful and remember about the importance of caring for it. Just because it's in these protective styles, are we just leaving it there? And I'm gonna hold my hands up. I used to be that person, and I'm looking at Anita because I know Anita will come for me. But I was that person where it would go in a twist, and I'll be leaving it in there. It'd be lucky to get one spritz. And I'm telling you now, my poor hair would be right now. It would be rolling its eyes at me. It would not be in the best state. And it will come out, and then I used to be that a serial braider. So it would come out. And literally, no one would see me. I'd go straight, wash, and back in. And I was like, what about my hair? It's not breathing. I mean, do I have hair? And gradually, similar to what you said, it's about the education and knowing about the different styles, knowing about the things that our hair needs to thrive. Not just to survive, but to thrive. And that's helped to change my attitude and my mentality. And like I said, I will change my hair. And I love that I can do that. I can wear it differently. And that's what it's about, really.
But it's, I mean, I know you're going to comment again, Rose, but it's wild that I think, and this is just a guesstimate because I don't know the stats, that it feels to me like maybe over 50% of our community don't know how to care for our hair.
It's true.
Do not know. Like the majority of women who I know in my friendship circle don't know how to care for natural hair properly because we've never been taught. And that in and of itself, I think, is a setup. Like it's such a setup. You know?
But what I like now, because I'm seeing from my daughters, there are videos there. There are videos there. And my daughter's always telling me off. Don't comb your hair like that. Don't, you've got to treat your hair like this. So there are videos. And I think now I think it's an awakening in terms of natural hair. There's so much about natural hair now. And there's so many people coming up with products and also different ways of actually, like the other day, I know I've braided my hair, but the last couple of weeks I enjoyed just having natural hair and having it, the sponge, the sponge thing.
It was lovely,
that's
right?
a new thing.
Lovely.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Yeah, so that's another way of how we can just style our hair. So it's very, very versatile, and I love that about it. And it's something that we need to learn to appreciate and enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's thinking about, obviously, I think Black women spend something like 3 billion
Oh yeah.
in the billions actually every year on hair products. And I just think about, well, how much of that money actually stays in the Black community?
Just sit with that. I want those women that contribute. Yeah, that's a valid point.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but then obviously you've got people that are out here making their own products.
Yes.
Finding out what our hair needs.
Yes.
And basically going and running with that, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to flip it a little bit. I'm going to be that person because it seems to be all controversial today.
Yes.
But I guess also it's about costs. And what we find, and I don't want to say we, let me not generalize, but what some individuals may find is certain shops are selling the same type of hair or products for cheaper.
Yeah.
And it doesn't break the bank. But when I think back and I sit back and reflect, I'm like, when it comes to our health and things like that, you can't put a price on it.
No.
You really can't put a price on it. But yeah, that was my controversial point that I wanted to just throw in there. It's a little.
Yeah, I love what you said about hair, and just going back to the physical beauty. Anyway, let me not say it because
Say it, Rose.
You can't start and not say it, Rose.
Say it. Go on. Say it.
Say it with your chest.
I'm not just having a go at people who spend their time in the gym.
Oh.
There's something about and the impact that may have. For me, my biggest worry is, especially for our very impressionable young women, the expectation that you have got to be a certain size. You have got to be, you've got to look a certain way. And what really, really upsets me that, okay, there are on social media and some of the magazines that you see,
Filters.
what they don't realize
Filters.
is, the filters.
Yeah, filters.
Because there's a training that I was delivering the other day for adolescents, and it's about that image and the fact that we had photographs of some celebrities in their natural, how they look naturally, side by side with the filtered ones, and it was quite an eye opener. Yeah, so it's how do we get people to understand that actually what you see in magazines and what you see on social media is not actually the reality.
Yeah, and it's that whole concept of comparison is a thief of joy. And how do we be comfortable in our own skin?
Yeah.
So I remember growing up being super skinny, getting into my 20s, putting on a little bit of weight. And boy, people in the Caribbean, Jamaica, you get fatty. And it would just be that consciousness about, oh my gosh, I've put on weight. And it took years to get to a place where I was like, you know what, I'm comfortable with me. So whether I'm 200 pounds, 180, 160, I need to first learn to be comfortable in my own skin. That being said, I think obviously there is a conversation around weight and the impact on your health. And I know there's a lot of people out there around body positivity. I think there was this woman called Lisa. And for years was going on about body positivity and being overweight. And a couple of years down the line, they go and use some of these weight loss drugs. And it's like the hypocrisy of it all, right? So I think obviously there's a balance around weight and obviously the impact on your health, which even though we say to people, be body positive, love your body, love the skin you're in, it's knowing what your doctor is saying around things like weight retention and how it affects certain lifestyle diseases. And obviously things like going to the gym is not just around weight loss and physical appearance. Going to the gym or working out or movement, like we've spoken about before, keeps at bay some diseases like diabetes and hypertension and heart disease. So it is more about how healthy are you than it is about how you look, I say.
Yeah, and you've both made really valid points around healthy habits and sustainability around that, and obviously around social media. And we are now living in a day and age where social media, you can't avoid it. Even if you live under a rock, it's everywhere. And I'm so grateful that I grew up, and now I'm going to sound like a dinosaur, but I grew up in a day and age where something would happen and nobody would have filmed it. And all we have left is memories. However, fast forward to the times that we're in now, it's in a situation where someone might leave their house and just one day they didn't comb their hair or brush their hair or they didn't look as glam and they get snapped by the paparazzi. And that's forever. That's forever. And when we think about the impact on people's mental well-being and mental health, and most importantly, self-esteem, they're all interlinked. And I'm, like I said, I'm grateful that I didn't have to experience it. But I mean, you know, I'll be honest that when I leave my house, there's a certain but maybe there's a certain bit of like, I feel my confidence in how I dress. But I can still dress casually and still feel pretty, feel good about myself. And I'm going to be honest with you, compliments go a long way. Even if you're looking rough and tough and ready to go. See, there you go. And now I feel, now my sense of self has been heightened. Thank you, Anita. I appreciate you. But even that, it's just that, let's be a society where we compliment each other. We're not yes, Anita, fix your face. Be a society where we compliment each other. No, but I saw that look. What? It doesn't hurt. You like that yellow top that the person's wearing, tell them.
I know.
Because you don't know what journey
don't tear them down.
When we've got body dysmorphia on the rise.
But what about, but here's the thing though, and I know you come, but in the African community and the Black community where we love comment on people's body weight.
We do.
Right? We do. And I remember going out to dinner with, somebody who had invited me to dinner once, and the whole dinner kept commenting on my weight. Oh, you put on weight. And I'm just like, seriously, I know how much I weigh. And I think, like I said, I think it's a habit in the African and Caribbean community. We always talk about people body weight. Why? Why?
It's something to talk about.
And I think, you know, times have changed because in the past, I'm just talking about my culture, for instance, having and putting on weight was a sense of, pride. Someone is
doing well.
Yes.
They are well off. They are okay. They've, you know. But on the other hand, the issue of health, it's so important. It is so important. And again, I think that there are trends because as much as we say, yes, certain, you know, certain body weights were frowned off in the past, but now being curvy is almost the in thing, isn't it?
Yes.
To a point that some people are having
surgeries.
What do you call it? Surgery.
Yeah. Is that what it's called? BBL.
BBL.
Oh,
having things put in it, butt
or they
implants.
might have like
I
forgot the name when they're having the injections of other things and
is it Botox?
Botox is the face.
But Botox is for this face, but it's the
But they're having
it's
additional
implants.
Implants
In their bum implants, breast
Yeah.
implants, and some of those things burst in people, you know. And it's
Yeah.
like, but you can actually go to the gym and build up your bum, like, you know.
But then they want the quick and fast.
Yeah.
They don't want to have to work for it. And that's another point, Rose. We are now in a society where you can buy it. So I might want to have blue eyes for one day. I can go and buy the contacts. I might want to look youthful. I can go and get the Botox. I might want to do this.
Makeup.
There's so many different
Makeup
things.
is making people look, but it's like keeping up with the Kardashians, and it's like,
Don't come for us, Kim.
it's that whole thing about, but that's how Black women look naturally with the curves, right? And I'm seeing where there are a lot of, you know, influencers who want the curves. I don't know if it's about attracting Black men or what. Go on, Sherelle, before we get myself into trouble.
I'm here. I'm like, tell me how you feel.
Oh my goodness.
The mic is yours. The floor
I'm done.
is yours.
Pass it over to you.
You sure?
Yes.
But you brought on valid points about culture, and
Yes.
sometimes the definition of beauty, I think it varies across cultures, communities. and so forth. And Rose, you mentioned about coming from an African background, and
Yeah.
you know, the putting on the weight is always perceived as being healthy.
Yeah.
And then you've got other communities where it's like slim and trim is the way forward.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not here to body shame. That's just not my thing, and this podcast doesn't do that.
No.
What we want to do is promote self-worth, love,
Yeah.
most probably, and well-being,
Yeah.
and healthy habits.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that made me think about cultural
Yeah.
differences and thoughts and feelings around that.
Yeah. But I think it's something about, sorry, Rose, but it's something about how, you know, sometimes black bodies, female bodies are over-sexualized.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the curviness, the big bums, the big hips, the big boobs and everything, it's become so over-sexualized and objectified, so much so that, like I said, people are tripping over themselves to go and get implants done. Or it may not be implants. Sometimes is it sucking the fat from somewhere else?
Oh,
I'm putting it into there.
Yeah.
And it's like to go through. And I people have died from these procedures in extreme circumstances.
It's true.
People have actually lost their lives, and it's like,
Yeah.
is it worth it though?
Is it worth it?
Is it worth it?
And that brings me to, you know, how do we then develop this self-love? And let me tell you about for me, because I grew up, I come from the northern part of Uganda, and from my part of the world, we are dark, and I remember I went to school in the south, and I remember those derogative terms, you know, about my complexion.
Wow.
And we were given a certain name that I won't even mention.
Wow.
No, I won't even mention it. But for me, what really put me off and never even crossed my mind to bleach was reading about some of the stuff in these creams and the impact that it has.
On the
And
skin.
once you start, you can't stop, apparently.
Losing your pigment.
The pigment and how that exposes you, because even with the bleaching, some people may bleach, but then not every part of their body is, you know, even the complexion is not even. You have certain dark patches, and it just looks. Yeah. So for
Rose,
me,
you're gonna upset
thank God-
people.
Yeah. So for me, when I think about beauty, it's about, you know, and appreciating myself and knowing that I may have a certain body shape, but then there's certain clothes that look nice on me. So
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of
Dressing for your body.
How do you, you know, learn to appreciate yourself? You know, it's just avoiding some of those things that are going to cause harm to you. But also, there's so much out there in terms of, you know, really fashion that makes you look good.
Yeah.
So it's just.
And this time around, I'm gonna agree with Rose from the point of view of doing the inner work.
Yeah.
Because like I said, obviously where both things are important, and it is good to look after your body, it is good to look after your skin and your hair and your nails and whatever, but there's also the thing about doing the inner work, because there are people out there who are pretty like money, but they struggle to maintain relationships. They struggle to maintain long-standing relationships. Yeah. So for example, the beauty will attract the man. Is it going to keep him though? Because it's what's on the inside. And obviously as trained coaches, we meet so many people that struggle with interpersonal relationships, struggle to maintain relationships, want to get married, want to have long-term relationships, but struggle even though they're pretty. And oftentimes it's because people might be wounded, might be broken, not their fault. Again, we're not blaming people, but sometimes people might have grown up and experienced some trauma, early childhood trauma, just had very difficult backgrounds. And where they haven't healed, they're like porcupines. People come close to them and they repel them. And it's sometimes stopping and saying, I need to go speak to a coach. I need to go speak to a therapist. And I need to do that inner work to heal my insides, right? So that in as much as I look good on the outside, I can maintain relationships because I'm healed and I'm whole.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to come back to your question, Rose, about how do we develop that self-love, I think, like you said, Anita, it starts from within. How, like, we've now got these affirmations and people are now recognizing you is smart, you is special.
Oh, I
you is
like that.
We smile and laugh, but it brings you and fills you with warmth.
Yeah.
People need to start doing the work internally.
Yeah.
No matter what we see out there, if you're not happy within, you're going to constantly be looking and searching to how I can change me. How can I fit? I mean, one day it's going to be straight nose, and then I'm going to go and change it to having a wide nose, and I'm going to change it to having this type of nose.
Yeah.
But until I can do the work in me and be
Yeah.
comfortable with it, and that's not to say sometimes you might want to do changes, and there's nothing wrong with that. But as long as it's that change and I'm happy to continue, and it doesn't change me, then that, for me, that's how the self-love starts.
Yeah. And also, you could even be setting the trend, you know.
That too.
Definitely, definitely. So it's and it's about having fun with that. You know, once you appreciate yourself, you know, having fun and styling yourself and having your own brand.
Yeah.
We talk about brands. People
Yes.
talk about their own
Yes.
brands now.
Yes.
Develop your own brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think confidence is so attractive.
Oh, yes.
You know, I think when somebody, again, is whole on the inside and is confident and self-assured, that is way more attractive than a lot of the
yeah.
physical assets, you know. And a thought that just jumped in my head is about seeing yourself the way God sees you.
Oh, yes.
Because bearing in mind that he said he created us in his image and in his likeness, and God don't make foolishness, right? And not just that, he sees us as the apple of his eyes. And again, it's recognizing that where we're looking for all of this external validation from men, from societal standards, which changes every day. One day you must be nice and straight and slim like Gwyneth Paltrow. Another day you need to be curvy like J-Lo. And often it's about who's popular, who's famous. That's what people run down. And the thing about culture and fads, they change, they come and go. But if you have a sense of self, which comes from your relationship with God and what's going on the inside of you, you're not stressing yourself out to keep up with the Joneses, you know?
Yes,
So-
I like that. I really like that. It's less stress on you, less stress on having to keep up and maintain a certain image. Just accepting yourself and being who you are and enhancing that. And
Yeah.
just going on. It's
absolutely.
definitely.
I
Yeah.
can't believe time has just flown by.
I
We're literally just
know,
flying,
I
and we
know.
could be talking about this forever.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna start by just saying, before I summarize or try to summarize, what would you say is one beauty takeaway that you would like our listeners to either reflect on or to be mindful of? And I'm gonna start with you, Rose.
30 seconds.
Oh, and in the words of Anita, 30
1
seconds
minute.
takeaway.
Yeah, I'm going to say, you know, your inner beauty is so important. So enhance that and maintain that. Inner beauty is important, and that radiates, you know, once you enhance that and work on your inner self, it will radiate and improve your external beauty as well.
Yeah.
Lovely.
By all means, look after yourself, exercise, eat healthy, surround yourself with people who are going to build you up, do the inner work, and see yourself the way God sees you.
And mine would be all of the above.
No, you have to
I
give
know,
one.
but no, in all honesty, I would just say you are beautiful. The importance of being beautiful inside and out. You can't have one without the other. That would be my main reflection of people to reflect on.
Love the skin you're in.
Love
Yes.
the skin you're in.
And reminding black women that we are beautiful. Like our melanin popping dark skin. And again, obviously I'm coming back to that because I had to do the work to love my dark skin. I love my dark skin.
I love it too.
But it took work because there was a lot of brainwashing and indoctrination, you know, from just TV. Now we're seeing a lot more representation in TV
Yes.
of people who look like us. But it's to say to people, don't be brainwashed. Your dark skin is popping.
It's popping. I love that. Yeah, so just to summarize, it seems like we talked about beauty standards, societal standards, trying to kind of break down those barriers of generational standards, I'd say. Whether, you know, people commenting about looking bigger than what they are. and just being humble and loving you internally.
Yeah.
Yes.
That will be my 30 seconds of summarizing. But as always, we thank you so much for tuning in. As always, we love having you here. And please like, share, follow, comment and subscribe. That's a wrap.